Hey guys, Coach's Random Tip. Today I want to talk to you about misalignment in your body and misalignment in under and overactive muscle groups and how that could cause issues down the road, how it can cause injury down the road, especially if you're just ignoring them and just kind of training through them. So a lot of times we call them niggles, where it's not really an injury, but something is hurting. And a lot of times we're just kind of ignoring it and we'll keep on going and it'll be fine. But I always think the first thing is we got to ask, okay, why? Why is it there? What did I do differently? First thing, am I wearing the right shoes? Because a lot of times any knee, lower back, any issues there could come from way down the bottom, which is the shoes. Am I wearing the right shoes? Did I actually get fitted for these shoes? Are those the right shoes for me? Those can make a huge difference. But then also, did something happen? Did I twist an ankle? Did I twist? Did I fall? Is there an actual structural cause of these issues? So that of course would have to be, looked at by a doctor, look at an MRI, see if there's something broken, torn, whatever. So that's something that needs to be addressed by the doctors, of course, the structural element, or even a manual therapist if it is just a misalignment. But super important is muscular imbalances. They can cause exactly the same kind of pain, but you can't find on an x-ray or an MRI of where's the pain coming from, because there's nothing that you can see. But those problems, let's say for example lower back problems, can definitely come from an underactive muscle group and an overactive muscle group. So for example, if we're sitting at the job all day in this position, like in a rounded position, hip flexors rounded because we're sitting, so you have an imbalance, meaning the chest muscle and the ab muscles, even they might not be strong. You might be saying like, well, I'm not strong, but they're overactive, meaning those muscles are pulling too tight and they're rounding our shoulder forwards and they're rounding our whole body forward because of the imbalance or the overactiveness of those muscles, meaning a muscle is supposed to contract and relax when they're moving. So if biceps contracts, relax. So we have to, if both of them would be firing, I would just kind of go nowhere. So that's a normal thing, that the muscles have to glide. If a muscle is overactive or too short, meaning too tight, muscle fibers lock up. So they keep us there. They don't want to be opened up, because then they could cause a problem somewhere else. They don't want to work. So in that case, your body is trying to find a compensation for it. It's trying to find like, hey, I still want to please you because you want to do this motion, but I can't use that muscle, so I'm just going to use something else and work on a compensation. And over time, your body can do that for a while, but over time, your body is going to be like, all right, I'm done. I added too many compensations now. Now I'm going to give you pain. So you're going to stop doing what you're doing and figure out what is going on. So for example, a lot of times if I have, lower back problems, it could be that the abs are just too tight, chest is too tight. So if I'm opening up these elements here, then all of a sudden your mobility comes back in your lower back, and that, if you strengthen these muscles and you're extending or stretching these muscles, the balance is back. So then your body's like, okay, I'm good. I can work this way. For example, shoulder, like if you have too tight ab muscle where you're sitting all day, you're driving to work, you're sitting in the evening in front of the TV, you're never getting out of this crunched position, especially triathletes then being in aero position. You're all running this way, swimming forward in this motion. So everything is always the forward load. So for example, if you feel like you have shoulder issues, that could come from, if this is too tight, your body doesn't want to stretch that muscle. So it would not let your shoulder go up. So this muscle is telling this muscle, hey, don't go any higher. I don't want to be stretched down here. So as soon as you're working on mobility in your lower back and abdominal muscle stretching, boom, your arm will be able to go up higher. So that's something I want you to kind of be aware of, and not just look right away into, like, oh, just keep running and it'll get better eventually. It might, but very, very seldom without a change. It can, of course, have a lot of problems with, overtraining and all those. I'm not going to touch on those right now. Right now, I'm just touching on muscle imbalances. And I have an app for example, out that does posture screening, overhead squat profile, those movement screenings, those show us compensations of what is your body doing to trying to get to this low, overhead squat. So that way we can see which muscles are overactive and which muscles are underactive, which ones do we need to strengthen and which ones do we need to stretch. So that is, for example, something that I offer. If you're interested in, just send me a text or a message and let me know, and we'll get it sorted out and get you in with a posture screening or a movement screening. But yeah, that is my topic for today. I'll see you guys.